4,800.
Garrett once again gonna 3-bet. 4,800, ace, king of clubs. And Jackie is in the middle again with nines. I feel like this is the third time he's been in this spot here tonight, facing a raise and a 3-bet by Garrett versus Andy.
Seconds.
Well, he makes the call. You can see how deep these guys are. And Andy's also going to call. So 15,300 here, three ways.
Three players.
Ooh, queen 9-6. Set of nines for Jackie. Andy with top pair, Garrett not with anything. A queen would be a disaster card for Andy. Oh, the turn's a queen!
Not really that sorry.
Three queens here for Andy and a full house for Jackie.
We're free in the other pot.
Bet is 8,000.
8,000 from Jackie.
Raise it up.
And Andy's going to raise.
Actually, now I'm ready for Bill.
19,000.
Andy is going to raise here
I just root for whatever Bill's doing. I get to root for
with
you today,
three queens. Raise it up to 19,300. And I'm actually getting word that Andy has 32,000 more in his stack than the graphic. Andy's got 192,000 here. So that means he started the hand with over 200,000. Jackie does cover him. But he's got 192 in his stack. And a bet, 3-bet here by Jackie. 8,000 to 19.3, 3-bet to 55,000. Can Andy get away from it here? I was even a little surprised that he raised the turn with Queen 10. He's not having a good night. Wow, he's going to make the call. Again, Andy's got 156,000 left. So add that graphic 124 plus about 32. 125,300 to the river. Let's see if we see a cream river. The river's a 9! Oh, quad 9s versus top full house.
Check.
And Jackie has checked at the end here. You can't make this stuff up. Double paired board. How is Andy not going to get stacked here? And it looks like Andy has bet 70,000. And there's the all-in. And Andy calls. And this is unbelievable. Jackie's going to win it with quad 9s over queens full of 9s. That is one of the most unbelievable hands I've ever seen on Live at the Bike. Let me do the math on this because Andy had an extra 32,000. The total pot is $438,900. So $438,900. That, I believe, is the biggest pot in the history of Live at the Bike.
178,200. 178,200.
I mean, if we have the math right, Jackie covers Andy.
178.2.
Andy had 156, I believe. So just about 439,000 total in the pot. Unbelievable.
Seven two. Pass.
And he makes it 7,200. Now we had the original raise under the gun from Alan Cunningham. He made it 2,000.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
This is an unbelievable spot for Tom Dwan. Now, any other player, Patrick Antonius maybe gets away from the Kings, but Tom Dwan with the aces?
That's why Tom Dwan gets so much action. He plays so many hands. He mixes it up when this happens. He gets paid off.
Oh, this is unreal. Just to recap here, Alan Cunningham under the gun raised it up
19.
with pocket threes. Tom Dwan has re-raised it with the aces to 7,200, and Patrick Antonius with pocket kings has made it 19,000.
You know, if Tom Dwan plays this tricky, this could get real expensive for Patrick Antonius.
Pass.
And both players are very deep. Antonius is $371,000 in front of him. Tom Dwan, $250,000 in front of him.
Well, that's why we could see a wide variety of ways to play this. We could see a re-raise right here by Tom Dwan just to get the pot pumped up. We could see a flat call. I think that as deep as the stacks are, I prefer a re-raise. Go ahead and put a little more money in the pot. The thing is this, the way that Tom Dwan's table image is, I think it looks great to go ahead and re-raise right here. I think he gets paid off by even queens, maybe jacks, ace-king.
I mean, obviously he's got Patrick Antonius dominated, but he's only a 4-1 favorite. He's going to lose 1 out of 5 times against those kings.
That's why I like a re-raise right here. Take the lead on this pot. Make it 19, make it 50-something. You know, 55, 60. Make it really tough on Patrick Antonius and help define the hand as well.
47,600.
I like it.
And he makes it 47,600. You said 50-something, pretty close.
Yeah. Back in good old 93, you know when raise, re-raise, re-raise. They had kings to raises. Not anymore. That was back in the good old days.
What's that?
When you knew what they had was this action. It was kings raises.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is in these days, except when you're playing with these guys. Everybody had to put out tapes on how to play. It's your fault. You ruined everything. It's like nobody knew how to play. That was like the last year.
Patrick trying to work this one out.
In the world became superstars, especially 07, 08.
Patrick Antonius started the pot with 371,000. Tom Dwan, 250,000. And look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Patrick Antonius is all in. Tom Dwan calls immediately.
They did have the aces and kings.
What'd you say? They don't have aces and kings when to raise, re-raise, re-raise?
I guess they do sometimes.
And we have a monster $500,000 chip pot. Unbelievable turn of events here. Aces versus kings.
Well, we've got
it's Tom Dwan's dream here and Patrick Antonius' nightmare.
We've got a house in the middle of this pot. This isn't a poker hand. This is a house. I mean, look at the size of this pot.
Good luck, boys.
Patrick Antonius really thought long and hard about flat calling. Now I wish he did.
Well, here's the flop. It needs a king. Oh,
my
I can't
gosh.
believe it. It's unbelievable.
At least the pizza's here.
Oh, my. Tom Dwan gets all his chips in. This is a $500,000 pot.
Anyone have an ace?
Unbelievable, what a turn of events.
Dwan needs an ace and only an ace.
Well, there's just $500,000 in the pot, that's all.
And here's the turn. It's the Queen of Hearts.
Oh,
Tom
down
Dwan
2 cards.
down to 1 card and only 2 outs, or he is going to lose a $500,000 pot.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
He's got to be about to puke right now.
I'll take 100 more.
I'm about to puke. It's the 4 of spades.
I just saw the corner.
Oh,
Wow. Wow, just like that.
I mean, what is he feeling right now? You've played poker your whole life. What's he feeling right now?
Try and continue it through, but here's Chris Ferguson. He might not actually get to see the pot. Chris with pocket aces. He's so quiet, and every now and then he just wakes up with a hand, and bang.
That's a big raise there. $26,500 raised to. Who's going to call that one? Now remember, Ferguson is very deep. Does Ivy have the odds to call with that small pair?
Well, he's around a 7-1 to actually catch a set on the flop. But he's also got to make sure he gets paid when he catches that set. So it's pretty tight on whether he can call this one, despite having over 200,000 in front of Chris Ferguson.
Well, he's going to gamble. He's going to call this. And the pot is actually the pot is $62,000. And Ivy needs a 3. And there it is. There is the 3. Look at this.
This
How do you play this now?
could be a monster.
Ferguson with a pocket aces, Ivy with pocket 3s. And both players are very deep. Ivy with over 800,000. Ferguson with nearly $250,000, actually, over $250,000. And there's a $40,000 bet. Ivy decides to check it. Pot is $100,000.
100,000.
And you get a check raise here.
Looks like Phil Ivey has made it 100,000 to play.
It's 100,000 total.
And it's 60,000 more to Chris Ferguson. The pot is 200,000, 60 more to Ferguson. And it's difficult. Difficult to figure this one out. Ivy could easily have kings or queens here. If this flop was king high or queen high, it would be much easier to get away from the aces. Chris Ferguson has played so well till now. And he is going to call this, and this pot is now $262,000.
9.
That could actually help Chris get off this hand.
I can't imagine him putting Ivy on a 9, though.
Probably not.
I mean, I think both players know we're talking about overpairs or a set. Ivy with a full house here. 3s full of 9s. Pot is over $250,000.
Small one.
Oh, and Chris Ferguson's worst nightmare.
Phil Ivey just moves all in. And Chris has a decision for all of his chips.
And I'm looking at Chris Ferguson's stack. It's a little over 100,000 still in there.
I call.
He says
He
call.
calls. He needs an ace here
Or a 9.
An ace or a 9, thank you.
Yeah. I need an ace or a 9. About 4 outs, I guess.
$500,000 pot. And Chris Ferguson needs a 9 or an ace.
Here it comes.
To the river. A 5. It's not going to do it.
Nice hand.
Do here. He's got 7-6 of hearts.
Ironically enough, we have a coin toss before the flop.
I mean, Robert, who has the edge in this game? I'm looking. Patrick Antonius, Tom Dwan, Phil Ivey. 3 of the best in the world. Who's got the edge?
I'd be guessing if I told you. I don't really know.
Well, go ahead and guess. I'm curious.
I have to say Phil Ivey overall, but it's a close one. Real close.
Well, Tom Dwan is going to call. We're going to see a flop.
3-5.
Jack 5-3. Both players pick up a gut shot. If the 4 falls, talk about an action card.
Especially if it's not a club.
If a 4 falls, we're going to see some action. Ivy with a 4 would make the wheel. A 4 would give Dwan the nuts, as long as it's not a 4 of clubs, like you said.
Yeah.
Phil Ivey bets out 35,000 into this pot.
pot is an astonishing $84,500. There's no going back from this.
This is a tough call for Tom Dwan, actually. He's got enough gamble. He's capable of calling here.
Well, it's not just calling for a 4, you're calling to float as well. And
Cool.
In position.
he can call to represent clubs. He can call to represent that he's got a pair of 5s, a jack.
Cool.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Oh, wow. This is unbelievable. Ivy cannot win this pot, but he's made a straight.
Both players have a straight.
Talk about the gin card. Ivy makes the wheel. Dwan has the absolute nuts.
We could see the largest pot ever in televised poker history.
There's 75,000.
80, 85,
90.
90,000.
90,000. Phil Ivey bets $90,000. If you're Tom Dwan, what do you do?
Wow, with a flush draw out there, I'm sorry, I'm going to go ahead and raise right here. But I'm not going to raise my whole stack. I'm going to raise it about 200,000 more. Make it look like I can still lay my hand down. Maybe 150 more even.
Now, Ivy's one of the best in the world, but can he get away from a wheel? He's made the straight. Both players have made the straight. Tom Dwan with the absolute nuts. Oh, talk about a gin card on the turn. Well, the biggest pot in the history of televised poker is just over 900,000. We have a chance of breaking that right here. Tom Dwan with the nuts. The 7 high straight. Phil Ivey with the 5 high straight.
He's definitely going to raise here.
The pot is $209,000. The action is on Tom Dwan.
Unbelievable.
142.6.
And the raise is 142,000 more.
More.
And this is where we're going to see how good is Phil Ivey. He's staring at Dwan's stack, trying to figure out where he's at.
258.
Can I have it all? Can I get all those chips?
I don't think Ivy can get away from this hand, but I'll tell you what, he is considered the best cash game player in the world. If anybody can get away, it's Phil Ivey.
I mean, at this point, I don't even know if Ivy wants to get away.
I'm all in.
And he's
all in! Oh my gosh.
Ivy is all in. Dwan calls with the nuts. Ivy cannot win this pot.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's no good.
We have just broken poker television history. 1.1 million in this pot.
And he's drawing dead.
It is the biggest pot in the history of televised poker. And it's going to Tom Dwan. He's got the nut straight.
Tell your statistics to the table.
What's that?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Doesn't feel that true.
I guess it depends on how much you have in crypto.
Set hunting. I thought you're not. You
Paul says he's set hunting with 8-6 suited. Trying to put some mind games on his opponents.
I had like 33% in my portfolio. Now I have less.
There are a lot of people who wanted to keep 25% of their net worth in cryptocurrency when it was $1,000 before.
and within 6 months it's 20,000 a coin, and now they're forced to have 90%, some percent of their net worth in it, unless they want to pay short-term capital gains tax. So they got to hold on to it for a year. So if that's the case for you, there's a lot more gamble in crypto than there is in poker.
Yeah.
Kuhn flops a straight flush draw.
Short deck. 6-9 is a straight.
Looking for the 9 of clubs or the 9 of hearts or the 4 of hearts right now. Love to see a straight flush in our big cash game. But Tom Dwan's got the best hand. He's gonna bet top pair 10 kicker. Elton, he's got bottom pair of a nut flush draw right now. He's actually going to make the call, or is he check raising? He's going to make the call with bottom pair. He's very suspicious of Tom. They've got a lot of history, but Jason Kuhn actually might check raise here. He can put a lot of pressure on these type of hands. Yeah, he's going to raise to 100,000. I mean, he's stuck about 800,000 euros, so I can see why he wants to raise and just put a lot of pressure. I wonder if Tom Dwan can read into this and maybe call a flop check raise and kind of see what happens on the turn. But I think he's going to let it go. The way he's grabbing his cards. Actually, no, he might call. Tom's thinking about what happened previously. Kuhn bluffed off a lot of his chips. Would Kuhn actually try and bluff off more chips?
What happened to Sam? What happened on the flop?
So he's going to let it go. And Elton probably got a fold bottom pair.
Not cash. Yes. Right?
Yes.
240.
Maybe Elton's going to call here. With just bottom pair. No, he re-raises to 324,000. This is a weird play.
No, turn it off.
It might be like a little bit.
I mean, don't say anything.
Wow. Jason Kuhn, though, I mean, he has a very good hand. Just 6 high, but he's just got 55% chance to win. I think he's just going to call and see what happens on the turn. He doesn't think Elton will ever fold to a shove. He actually would. So here comes the turn. Elton trying to decide what Kuhn has. Turn is a queen. Elton has the nut flush draw of his pair of 7s. 736,000 in here. Now, Elton was pretty much giving up, but on this card, he actually might shove. Elton's trying to represent a set or two, like ace-8 or ace-7 right now.
Way late.
I'm not sure what he puts Kuhn on right now, but he knows Kuhn lost a million chips. They've never played before with each other, I believe, with such big stakes. I would love to see Elton ship it all in here. The way Elton played the hand, man, I really can't really put him on a hand. It just seems like we called a bet, got check raised by the pre-flop raiser, and then re-raised to 300,000. So he's gonna bet. He's gonna bet a lot. He's just gonna shove them all in. Okay, he shoved in 390,000. He's got 540,000 behind. A half pot bet. Jason Kuhn's got so many outs, but he's only got 30% now.
No, we would have.
Jason Kuhn's got position, so he technically can call. I would never shove in Jason Kuhn's spot because he has no fold equity, so he should only call with position. Jason Kuhn already down like 800K right today. He can get all his money back in his hand, or he can lose €1 million. Possibly more, because I think they were deeper. He makes the call. There's not very many chips remaining.
You know,
Elton. 1.5 million. This pot could be bigger than the last pot we just saw.
I played with him enough that I don't think he's got a soft throw. Let's just put it that way.
Rivers a 4. Jason Kuhn makes the nut straight.
I don't see how he could heads up game.
1.5 million in there.
Oh yeah, okay. That's the way, but
I'm sure. I think it's fine. I don't think it's using any.
Jason Kuhn is so relieved to see the 4. Elton trying to decide if he can make a bluff.
I was like, what do you mean? Like,
Just a pair of 7s.
I was like, you know what I mean? I had the same kind of thing, but further away. What do you mean? If I lose this, I'm dead. What do you mean? Hold on.
Jason Kuhn just praying for Elton to shove.
So
it's always possible. 30 seconds.
Elton realizes Kuhn only has a third of the pot remaining.
Usually playing slow in cash game, right? But it's just super slow. It's not just max. I mean,
So he checks, he gives up. Jason Kuhn's gonna shove.
flows to the player I played. Where's max?
I wonder if Elton will consider a hero call.
Always making a decision in 30 seconds. But you can do faster. Why?
If Jason Kuhn can have 6-5 of hearts, then that means he could have 10-9 of hearts as well, right? So technically, Elton does beat a couple hands. I guess King 10 of hearts and Jack 10 of hearts occasionally. But there's so many chips in there. 2 million in the middle. Elton trying to decide what hands he can beat. 10-9 of hearts, the most likely hand he can beat. But if he has 10-9 of hearts, his opponent can also have 6-5 of hearts, which is what he's up against. It's very few hands he actually beats here.
I wouldn't say good. I
guess
didn't even play for like
10-9 of hearts and King 10 of hearts. Jack 10 of hearts. If that's assuming they played the hand this way as well. I mean, he really wants to make a hero call, a pair of 7s, but it won't be good. Because if Jason Kuhn had a hand like King, Queen of Hearts, he'd probably just check it back because usually he's up against 2 hearts himself. So nice fold. Can't show the bluff.
Can't do it, man. There's a time. This is the time.
S6 of us?
Jason Kuhn wins 789,000. He's actually up money right now. 2.1 million in there in his starting stack.
Not the other card.
He's in for 2 million.